During this lesson we'll build on what you've learned so far by showing you how to produce a horizontal butt weld. This section is divided into the following 5 parts. 1. Required personal protective equipment and safety tips. 2. Welding equipment. 3. Welding procedure. 4. Common problems with this type of welding and how to avoid them. Finally, I will show you a summary movie. Shielded metal arc welding personal protective equipment includes a hard hat to protect your head from sharp or falling objects. Safety glasses with side shields or goggles over prescription glasses to prevent injury to your eyes. Never wear contact lenses in production areas. Full-length 100% gauntlet-style leather welder's gloves will allow you to safely handle all materials, prevent steam from burning you, and protect you from arc, sparks, slag and molten metal. All leather heavy-soled steel-toed safety boots provide armor for your feet and support for your back. 8-inch boots are recommended to protect your ankles from burns. In addition to providing eye protection, helmets also provide a shield against flying metal and ultraviolet rays for the entire face and neck. Earmuffs not only guard you against sparks, spatter, dust and dirt, but they also conserve your hearing. Wear a long-sleeved 100% cotton or wool shirt and keep it buttoned to the top so that hot metal or slag won't slip inside. Work trousers pant legs must not have cuffs and must be pulled over boot tops. Make sure that your hook is tacked securely to the plate. Butt welding, as you know by now, requires several bead passes which could make the plate very heavy. If the hook is not secure, the plate could fall and you could be hurt. Take the time now to make sure the hook is attached well. Another safety tip to remember is to remove all slag after every bead. Remember, follow this advice to keep safe. Use your hammer to chip the hot slag away from your body. Always use your gloved hands to block flying slag. Cover your spats and boot tops with your pant legs so that the slag will not burn your ankles. Finally, remove your welding shield only when you've finished chipping. To practice a horizontal butt weld, you will need to use all the basic tools from your welder's tool kit. These basic tools are the chipping hammer, the electrode holder, the metal bag, the wire brush, and a welder's shield. You will also use some new equipment. You will use a butt plate assembly, held firmly in place by the hook. Remember, do not throw anything away unless directed to do so by your instructor. Now let's learn the proper bead placement for this weld. Note that the numbers indicate the order in which the beads are placed. Weld the top bead of the root layer first. Make sure that each bead in the root layer burns into the side of the plate. For all other layers, place the bottom bead first, and work up. The last layer is the reinforcement layer. Again, place the bottom bead first, and work up. To begin welding, attach a hook to the top center of the butt plate assembly. And hang it in the horizontal position. Start to weld by placing the first bead at the top of the root layer. Then place the second bead at the bottom of the root layer. Make sure each bead burns into the side of the plate. Remember to chip and brush after each pass. When you finish the root layer, the face of the welds should be flat. Weld the second layer starting with the bottom bead. Next, place the middle bead. Then place the top bead. Place the next layer in the same bottom middle top order. Make sure the weld is flush. Weld the reinforcement, starting at the bottom layer and continuing up. To complete the weld, chip the slag after every bead, and cool the assembly whenever it becomes too hot. When creating horizontal butt welds, you may encounter the following problems: incomplete fusion, incomplete penetration, trapped slag, weld bead rollover. Since incomplete fusion and penetration problems are considered unacceptable by QAI 612.1 standards, it's essential to avoid them. You can do this by using good technique. Remember, work from top to bottom on the root layer, and work from bottom to top on all other layers. Use the proper electrode angle, and make sure that each side bead burns into the sides of the butt plate. In this lesson we turned our attention to welding a horizontal butt weld. We began with some safety tips, such as how to properly position a plate and how to safely handle slag. After that, we looked at the proper procedure for welding a horizontal butt weld from start to finish. Finally, we identified some common problems associated with this type of welding and some best practices for avoiding them. Take some time now to make sure you understand the material covered in this lesson. If you have any questions, make sure that you clear them up with your instructor. Which pieces of equipment will help you fix an incorrect weld? Right answer. In a horizontal butt weld, which bead should you weld first? Right answer. What things should you remember when chipping slag? Please select all answers that apply. Right answer.